Harry's Wife, Part 101.21. Lying in State, Smirk. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Many of you will have watched yesterday the procession from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Hall as the Queen's coffin was taken to her position of lying in state. Today, as was the start yesterday, members of the public have been able to pay their respects to her, with already a 3-mile queue formed by the members of public who wish to pay their final respects to a monarch who reigned for 70 years. At the time, there was attendance by various members of the royal family, and of course, in parts passim, we've detailed the fact that Harry's wife extended the grip of doom to Prince Harry. It was also noted, of course, that later on, Zara and Mike Tyndall held hands. That too was inappropriate, in the same way that it was for Harry's wife and Harry to do so. However, it's worth the distinction that neither Mike Tyndall or Zara Tyndall are narcissists, and therefore their motivation for holding hands is separate and distinct from the motivation of Harry's wife. It's important to make that point clear to those individuals who are perhaps a little hard of understanding, who go, "But what about Zara Tyndall and Mike Tyndall?" Yes, they behaved inappropriately too, but for different reasons. This is all part of the difference between why a narcissist behaves in a particular way and a non-narcissist does, and something that you will learn lots about through my work. It was also the case, during the course of attendance, that we were treated to the smirk from Harry's wife. Now, if you looked at the picture in isolation, you might say, she perhaps has wind. Maybe she had a couple of Brussels sprouts too many that are causing a bit of gas to be accumulated and she's looking a little bit uncomfortable. Perhaps her mind has drifted elsewhere to magical thinking about her Spotify podcast taking over the world. Or that you see it straight away, that is not the face of a solemn individual, but it's somebody who is smirking. But you might give her the benefit of the doubt as you look at that picture in isolation. But then let's look at those who were photographed around her. You can see Peter Phillips behind, looking downwards and solemn. There's no smirk there. Across to the left of the picture, the Prince of Pink Pancakes, again solemn in face, no smirk. At the front, Sophie, Countess of Wessex, looking suitably glum and serious. And then the Princess of Wales, also looking serious and solemn. Not a smirk, a grimace, or any kind of countenance that is disrespectful to Her Majesty the Queen. Including the gentleman to the rear also, who in the picture you can see just about. Again, there's no smirk there. So when you compare the way that Harry's wife looks with all of those other individuals in the photograph that you can see on your screen, you can see that there is that smirk there. And it's clear, and it's apparent, and it's the narcissist smirk. So why is she smirking? Well, you can learn more generally about why narcissists smirk in my excellent video, The Narcissist Smirk, and I'd encourage you very much to go and watch that to extend your learning. Here, she's smirking because she's satisfied about the fact that she's there. She's satisfied by the fact of all of the fuel, although she doesn't realise it as such, of all the fuel that she's receiving because people are looking at her. And remember, in her own little deluded universe, she believes that she's the most important person. Everybody's looking at her. Everybody's remarking about how put together and beautiful she is. This is what her narcissism is telling her. And the receipt of fuel from the non-intimate secondary sources around her, the intimate partner primary source, which is Prince Harry, and all of the tertiary sources of other people that don't know her, all of that is being received because they're looking towards her studying this group. And the receipt of that fuel makes her feel special. And she can't help but smirk as a consequence of that. It's a response to the fuel that she's receiving. Basically, she can't hide how great she thinks she is. On top of that is the knowledge of, hey, look at me. I'm in here despite the fact that they don't like me. She doesn't stand there thinking, ha 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 ha, I've duped them. I've been throwing shit at them all these last 2 years and I've managed to get in, because her narcissism will compartmentalize that. Instead, it's about the moment. It's about the receipt of fuel in the moment that's causing that, the sensation that drives the smirk, and also the knowledge of, I'm stood here and I'm important and this is my right place and you're not going to stop me. Nobody's going to prevent me. I'm Harry's wife. I'm indestructible. I'm titanium, etc., etc. And that deluded knowledge means that her facade again cracks for a moment and allows the presentation of the smirk, because she thinks she's oh so clever for appearing with the royal family. The smirk is evident. The smirk is in place. It's plain to see, and particularly by virtue of a comparison with everybody else around her. And you've heard the reasons why it is being generated. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.